Alright, it is 8 a.m. We got a couple people coming online. Give them a couple more seconds. Alright, hoping everybody can hear me pretty loud and clear. My name is Jaimee. I'm a fitness and sports instructor in Wainwright. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to take you guys through a sandbag bear complex. So it's going to be a little bit workshop and a little bit familiarization workout. So the first part of today, I'm just going to break down the 4 different movements that we're doing. And then eventually, near the end, we'll just add them all up, put them together in the complex, do a little bit of familiarization circuit, cool down at the end, and then we'll be done for the day. So before we get started, again, all you're going to need just behind me, I have an adjustable sandbag, but if you don't have one of those, a backpack filled with textbooks, anything that you can toss in there that's added resistance, that works as well. I have my yoga mat here behind me as well, just for warm up and cool down. You don't necessarily need it, but if kneeling or anything like that does hurt your knees, then a yoga mat can help, or even just a towel. And then before we start, I have to read a disclosure. So in response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness to Canadian Armed Forces members by using social media platforms. The virtual fitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness level are unknown, and it's entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in the class. Since it's preferable to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it's recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If a Canadian Armed Forces member sustains an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CFMWS form. I've just copy and pasted the disclosure to the comments, and then in there you'll also see the link for the Get Active questionnaire and the reference document as well. Alright guys, so for a warm-up, we're going to start first with a cat-cow exercise. So you're going to get in the tabletop position, just on all fours where your wrists are stacked on your shoulders, knees are stacked on your hips. You're going to start, you're going to bring the belly button in, tuck the chin down, really round that back, and then oppose the position, push the belly button down, lift the chin up, and repeat. So we're just going to do 7, nice and easy. That's 4, 5, 6, and 7. From there, you're going to keep the same position, but now you're going to do what I call a fire hydrant. So same position. This time you're going to take your knee and lift it out to the side and come back to the middle. So just like so. So just nice and easy, making sure we're keeping that neutral spine and that flat back. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll just repeat on the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, these next 3 exercises, you're just going to be in the same position. You're going to be laying down on your mat. Feet are flat on the floor. Legs are bent at 90 degrees. Okay, for this one, you guys are going to have your arms out sort of in a W position, or like a football upright. You're going to bring them into your chest like so, back down to the floor, slide them up above your head, and then back to the center. So that's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from there, same position. Next, you're going to do a glute bridge. So hands are just by your sides, palms are facing down. Feet are about hip width apart, making sure the toes are pointing forward. They're not out to the side. They're not pigeon toe. They're just nice and straight. So from here, you're just going to push the hips up to the ceiling, activate the glutes, and then come back down. Nice and fluid movement. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, last one in this position. Next, your hands are just going to be by your sides. They're going to be in a thumbs up position. And all you're going to do is reach all the way back until your thumbs touch the floor behind your head, and then back to the start. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Oh, I'm going to have to start my watch. All right, next exercise you're going to do is just a standing hip hinge. So I'm just going to stand here at the edge of my mat, all right? My feet, in this case, are just going to be placed underneath my hips, right? Hands are on my hips, and all I'm going to do is hinge forward. So I'm just going to push the butt back, keeping a nice flat back, just soft knees, getting that nice, easy, smooth hinge at the hips. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Second last exercise is an inchworm. So I'm just going to be standing up nice and tall. I'm going to hinge down, touching my feet, walking my hands all the way out until I get an upright plank. Walk the hands all the way back up and fully stand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure when you're doing this, right, the wrists don't come out from underneath the shoulders. They're nice and stacked. And then slowly walk the hands back up. We want nice circle alignment when we do these. And 6. And 7. Right, last exercise, you're just going to come to the center of your mat. You're going to do a squat to stand. So you're just going to widen your feet out a little bit more than shoulder width apart. If you want to and you have the mobility, you can keep your toes pointed forward. If not, just splay them up to the side ever so slightly. So all you're going to do is you're going to hinge down, grab the insides of your ankles, squat, reach up with both hands, and then stand all the way up. So that whole movement is 1. So we're going to do it 6 more times. So hinge, squat, reach, stand. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so I'm done with my mat. I'm just going to set it off to the side. Grab a quick drink of water. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you guys have a sandbag at home, cool, awesome, use it. If you don't, have a backpack, fill fill it with textbooks, anything that's going to cause just added resistance that you can use. For the most part, you can do this complex with a backpack. You might just have to change the grips throughout each. So when I say bear complex, it's basically just stringing different exercises together in one fluid movement. So eventually when you get better and better at it, you do the complex as one whole. It's just exercise after exercise after exercise, and it just counts as one total rep. Today, we're just going to break down the complex a little bit. I have 4 separate exercises. It's 4 different movement patterns that we'll go through. I'll give you 2 cues for each movement that we can go through. We're going to familiarize ourselves with each movement, and then at the end again, we're going to bring it all together and do a little circuit. So the first movement we're going to do is a deadlift. So a deadlift, that movement pattern is a hinge, all right? So in this case, I'm going to stand facing my sandbag, all right? If you have a sandbag, it's going to be a neutral grip, right? Backpack, same ordeal. So for the deadlift, the 2 logos I'm going to get, or the 2 cues, sorry, that I'm going to have you use is to show the logo. So that means we want to have an upright chest, and then we want our butt to the wall, okay? So that's just that hinge movement when we actually sit our butt all the way back, all right? We want to push the butt towards the wall behind us, okay? So when we approach the leg, we're going to come down. We want to make sure our grip is outside of our knees. We don't want them inside. This is just a regular deadlift, okay? So from here, right, I'm nice and tall. I'm showing the logo on my chest, and you can see the butt is towards the wall. So I'm going to come up, pull it nice and close, and then when I come down, exact same cue. So I'm showing the logo, butt to the wall. That's that hinge, okay? We want to avoid rounding the back. We want to avoid squatting and bringing the weight all the way down, okay? Just think about that hinge movement, that there's just a steel rod in between your hips, and it's just, you're rotating with the rod, okay? So we're going to do 9 more to familiarize ourselves. That's 2, 3. I'm showing the logo each time, pushing my butt to the wall every single rep. Okay, when you're doing these properly, you should be able to feel the stretch in your glutes and in your hamstrings. Okay, we're just going to do 3 more here. Knock these out. 2, 3. All right, once you finish the deadlift and the bear complex, you're going to move straight to a hang power clean, which in this case is the pull movement. So the 2 cues I want you to focus on there is keeping it close. In that sense, you're just keeping it close to the body during the entire pull, and then you're going to dip up and under, okay? So when you get to the top of the deadlift, okay, so I'm nice and tall. The hang clean just necessarily means the hang is I'm starting from the hip position. The power, meaning that I'm catching it up top in the front rack position. The clean, meaning I'm actually doing that full pulling motion and finishing the movement. So first, I'm going to keep it nice and close. So when I'm here, right, it's close to my body the whole time. I'm not bringing the weight out, okay? I'm not over-accentuating my alignment as well. And then I'm dipping up and under. So I'm dipping the sandbag down, counteracting the movement, getting up and under the sandbag, and then standing upright, okay? When you do these, your feet position might change, okay? So they might go a little bit wider. That's perfectly fine for the next exercise we're going to get into. So for now, you're just going to dip, catch, and stand up. Maybe adjust your feet, like so. So I'm keeping it nice and close, dipping up and under, and then we're adjusting after each rep. Okay, so just from a frontal view, you can see dipping up and under, resetting, right, catching it in that nice front rack position. And we'll do 1 more, like so. Okay? So now you've done the deadlift, which is the hinge. You've done the hang power clean, which is the pull. Next, once you catch it, you're immediately going to go into a front squat. So that's where, when you actually do widen your base, when you catch it in the hang power clean, you're ready to go in that front squat. Okay, your feet are about shoulder width apart, right? Toes might be pointed out a little bit, that's fine. Okay, so from there, you're just going to do the front squat, which in this case, your 2 cues, elbows are going to be up, right? And then we want a vertical trunk, okay? So I don't want to see the elbows drop, because when the elbows drop, we're going to then go with the weight, and our trunk is no longer vertical. So we really want to drive those elbows up, keep everything nice and vertical in our trunk, so then when we do squat, right, we're good, versus this, okay? So with the bag, just doing that side view, so we've hang power clean, we've lined our base of support, elbows are now up in that front rack position, and then we're squatting down, keeping that vertical trunk. Okay, so from a frontal view, right, widen the base of support, toes might be pointed out, elbows are up, keeping the vertical trunk the whole entire time. Okay. Keep in mind, it's okay if you don't have great squat depth right now. I'm coming off of a knee surgery, so ideally my squat depth would be a lot lower than what it is in this video. But again, just go to what you feel comfortable with. Don't push yourself and don't push to the point of pain. Okay? So we've done deadlift, we've done hang power clean, we've done front squat. Okay? So in this case, we've done hinge, we've done a pull and a squat. Okay? Last exercise is the push press. Okay? So, and there goes the sand. All right? So we finished our front squat. All right? We're gonna sort of adjust our hands a little bit and get ready for the push press. Okay? So on the front squat, our elbows were up. Push press, the elbows come down just a little bit closer to your body because you're pushing straight up. Right? So we want to think of the 2 cues as ribs to hips. So again, just thinking nice and tall, really saying it with our chest, and then elbows through the bar, or in this case, the sandbag. So that means you're just pressing fully upright, fully straight. We want to push through that bar, nice powerful movement. Okay? So I'm here, boom, it's right, it's all the way up, comes back down. Nice forceful movement. Pushing the elbows through the bar. Make sure the ribs are in line with my hip. So in that case, if I'm coming up, I'm not hyperextending and the weight's not coming behind my head, or the weight's not coming above. Right? Now my ribs are no longer in line with my hips. So I want to be nice and tall, really making sure I push the weight through all the way up at the top. So again, just go to the frontal view. We'll do a couple reps here, right? So elbows are down, pushing the elbows through the bag, keeping that nice upright alignment, ribs to hips. Good. All right, so from there, you're just gonna drop the bag back to that hang position, okay? And then to finish off the movement, we're gonna do another deadlift, but in this case, it's the lowering phase, right? So the same 2 cues still apply, like in the first one, right? So we've adjusted our feet, okay? So then our feet are now in between the grips of the sandbag. So again, we're just gonna reverse the movement, lowering the bag down. So butt to wall, right? That hinge pattern, and then showing our logo. So we don't want to drop the chest down, right? Keeping it nice and tall. So if somebody's over here, they can directly see that PSP logo on my chest. And then if there was a wall right behind me, my butt would touch the wall, creating that perfect hinge pattern. Then I'm coming back up. Since we've already done this movement before, I won't cue you guys as much. You can just knock out the reps. Okay, again, Just in that frontal plane. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if you guys are watching at home, you can see the whole entire time I was doing that deadlift. You can see that that PSP logo on my chest. All right. You couldn't really tell if my butt was actually hitting the wall, but I've done this long enough to where the hinge pattern, if you feel it in the right places, which is in your glutes and your hamstrings, right, you're just pushing it back, right, and you'll automatically feel it. All right, so grab a drink of water here. So when you do the bear complex now that you know all the movements, deadlift, hang power clean, front squat, push press, and then deadlift, back down, you bring all those movements together so it's nice and fluid, right? So if you're new to this whole concept, you still might break it down, but you might pause a little bit just in between each movement. So it won't be fluid right off the bat. That's totally fine. As long as you get through each movement with proper form before moving on to the next, that's what I'd rather see. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to do 3 sets of 5 complexes, and then we're going to rest a minute after each set. Okay, so I'll show you at different speeds what a novice person might look doing a complex, and then I'll slowly get progressively faster and faster. Okay, so for the first set, will be a novice pace, right? So you might pause in between each exercise, but you're understanding the movement of each. Okay, so this one I'll do, you guys will see me in a side view, so you understand more of the hinge and the pull, a little bit of the squat, and then I'll go switch it up to a frontal view where you'll see more of the push, and I guess a little bit more activeness of the squat. Okay, so here I have deadlift, hang power clean, front squat, push press, deadlift. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there was a little bit, a couple pauses in between each, but as you guys familiarize yourself more with this movement, you'll be able to string all the exercises together. Sorry, and then it'll be just one easy rep. So we'll rest a minute. We've got about 30 seconds left. Okay, I'll do this second set here, just facing the camera. It'll be a little bit faster than the last one. All right, we got a couple more seconds here. Okay, so now this one will be a little bit faster. You'll see a little bit more fluidity. You also might notice the movement patterns might be a little bit wonky. You might see some weaknesses. So maybe in your squats, your knees might come in, right? We want to really activate the glutes, push them out. Your elbows might come down in the front squat, right? Drive those elbows up, keep them nice and high. All right, we got 5 seconds left. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest another minute. Right, so just catching our breath, doing this last set. We really want to make sure this last set counts. So we want quality first and foremost. So we want to remember all those cues, right? So in the deadlift, we want to show the logo on our chest, push the butt towards the wall. The hang power clean, we want to keep it nice and close to our body for that clean portion, right? And we're dipping up and getting underneath the bed. For the front squat, we want to keep those elbows nice and high in that front rack position while also keeping that vertical trunk, all right? So the chest is nice and high. We're not leaning forward and leaning back. Push press, we want to keep the ribs to our hips, all right? So that nice spinal alignment, again, nice and tall, nice and upright. And then we want to push the elbows through the bar all the way up. So the elbows will come down just a little bit from that front rack position. So then we can fully push in that straight bar path, or I guess in this case sandbag path, and then bringing it back down to that deadlift, still showing the logo, still hinging and doing that, the butt on the wall cue, okay? All right, so I got 10 more seconds left of my minute. Okay, I'm gonna do this one a little bit quicker, and then just a side view. And 5. All right. So you can see the faster you get, the more easy it is to just pair all the movements together and do it as one giant movement. Again, if you're new to it, slow it down, understand each movement first, pause in between, get the cues right, understand your body awareness, and then you can start getting a little bit faster. Okay. So I'm just going to bring my mat back for our cool down portion. Set my stuff off to the side. Maybe move the mat a little bit this way. All right, so you guys are going to be just in the center of your mat. Okay, you're going to take a wide stance. You're going to make a triangle with your legs. All right, feet are pointed forward, legs are fully extended. You're going to start just with your hands on your hips, and like that deadlift, we're just going to hinge forward at the hips, right? So there's that metal rod in our hips, keeping it nice and level, right? We're not necessarily hinging to 90 degrees, just hinging to where we push the butt to the wall, feel it again in our hamstrings and in our glutes. So we'll just hold it here for about 20 seconds. Okay, from there we're just going to do a forward fold. So we're just going to reach down, really just relax each one of the vertebrae, and just have our hands placed in the center of the mat. Okay, so you're going to get a little bit of a deeper hamstring stretch here. Might be a little bit more of the adductors versus the hamstring itself. That's totally fine. Right, and from there you're just going to walk your hands over to the right foot. Okay, if you can't necessarily touch the mat on the right side, that's fine. Just maybe touch your calf or your shin. All right, go to where it feels most comfortable and you feel the stretch. And then you're going to come back to the middle, slowly walking your hands over to the left side. and back to the middle. All right, from there you guys are going to get into a pigeon pose. So I like to start here just being in an upright plank, so everything's stacked wrists under shoulders, okay? I just want you to take that right leg, bring it back, feed it through, tilt out the front of your mat, like so, okay? If you want, you can hang out here, just have your fingertips touching the mat, nice and tall. If you're feeling a little flexible, you can drop down to your forearms like so, or if you've got mad flexibility, you can reach out all the way, right, and just drop the head down and really just take a minute, well, I guess in this case 20 seconds, just to enjoy the stretch and really thank yourself for watching this class, because I appreciate it. Yeah. So when you're done holding that pigeon stretch, you're going to come back up so your hands are just next to your knees, right? What you're going to do now is you're going to take this back leg, so in this case my left leg, I'm going to bring the heel as close as I can to my body. I'm going to reach around with my left hand, and if I can, I'm going to grab my foot, right? So I have good flexibility on this side, so I'm just going to grab the top of my shoelaces and I'm just going to pull my shoe as close to my body as I can. I'm really stressing that knee flexion, and then as well I'm focusing on the hip flexor and the quad right here. So if you can't right away just grab that foot, maybe it's not quite there, right? Maybe just try and just to bring the leg close to your butt as you can, right? If you're feeling up to it, reach around, okay? Maybe you just grab your heel, right? And maybe that's all you can do, that's perfectly fine, all right? But if you can, grab that foot, pull it in nice and tight, okay? So now we're going to switch and we're going to do the opposite pigeon. So we start on with our right leg forward. We're just going to come back just to that upright plank, feed the left leg through and down, push the right leg back. So whatever position you held here with the right leg forward, just do the same on the left. So again, have your fingertips nice and tall, forearms or fully extended. And whatever you feel you need to stretch or how to stretch, that's perfectly up to you. Okay, and then we'll come back up onto our fingertips. Now I'm going to take this right foot, reach around with my right hand, okay? Get a nice clean pull, feel it in the hip flexor, feel it in the quads. Again, whatever position you've held with this stretch on the other side, okay? One side might be a little bit more flexible than the other, that's totally fine. Maybe you're able to actually reach the heel or grab the shoelaces, or maybe it's the same on both sides. Totally okay. Go where you need to go, stretch however you need to stretch. And back down. So now you're just going to come to the center of your mat, just in a seated position, so just nice and cross-legged. Okay. Since we did quite a few push presses, all right, we're going to do a stretch that'll help just that thoracic mobility, shoulders and neck as well. So you're going to start, you're going to have your fingertips touching the tops of your shoulders, right? So you're sort of in that front rack position, right? Elbows are up and they're pointing forward, okay? If you don't have the wrist mobility or the shoulder mobility to actually hit that front rack position, you can just grab your hoodie or your shirt, whatever you're wearing, and get that pull in that sense, right? That's perfectly okay. So from here, we go from the front rack position, we're going to drive the elbows up, right? Nice and tall, thinking ribs through hips, just like that push press cue. right? You're slowly going to start to feel it in that upper back region. Just sort of let go of the stiffness. Remember to breathe. Okay, and then you're going to widen the elbows out, just in that wing position. Squeeze the shoulder blades together like you're squeezing a pencil. You don't want it to drop. Again, if that wrist mobility isn't there, just grab on to your hoodie or your shirt. And then back down. Okay? And then finally, we're just going to do a nice soft seated twist, right? So I'm just going to take my right hand over to my left knee, open it up to the left side, supporting behind me with that left hand. Just nice and easy, gentle stretch. And then we'll come back to the middle and switch sides. So taking my left hand to my right knee, supporting behind me with my right hand. And back to the middle. If you're watching this and you need to stretch out more, take all the time you need. Maybe you need to foam roll. Maybe you need to do some sort of release. Okay, that's fine. Take that extra time in your day to do so. And then other than that, enjoy your Tuesday. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee.